I've got a banger recipe for you guys today. In fact, I'm not even sure I want to share it, but it's just too good to keep to myself. So today, of course, I'm going to show you how I make spaghetti meatballs. I've been having this since I was a kid, and ever since then, I have been trying to perfect that recipe, and I can stand here today and say it's pretty darn well close. I'm going to show you some tips and tricks I've learned along the way, how to keep those meatballs nice and golden, crusty, how to get a deep, rich tomato base, and how to have some lovely, soft, fresh pasta with that. So let's get straight into how to do that. First up, let's make our meatballs. We're going to grab a bowl. Of course, need some beef mince for this. I've got 500 grams here. We're going to use some breadcrumbs to bind everything together. I've got some panko breadcrumbs. Any will do. We're also going to need some Parmesan cheese. On top of that, we'll need some parsley. This will add a lovely touch of brightness to the meatballs. To add a depth of flavor, we're going to add some minced garlic as well. And that's everything. So we'll add everything to a bowl, starting with our beef mince. You'll note that this beef mince isn't too lean. It's going to help carry some flavor. We want a bit of fat in that mince. Next up, our Parmesan cheese. We're going to grate up a bunch of this. And this is the secret, the real secret to having a really golden, crispy, crunchy exterior. So we're going to take all of that Parmesan and put that into the meatball mixture as well. After that, we're going to season with a bit of salt, because it's really important to keep that seasoning going throughout every step of the recipe. Next up, we've got our parsley. Now this is flat leaf parsley. Curly leaf parsley will be just as good. We're going to run a knife through that and make sure that we chop it up really nice and fine. Quite important to get everything the same size so we don't have any big leaves left over. So I'm going to scoop all of that up and again put that into the bowl of all of our meatball ingredients. We'll throw in our breadcrumbs, and our last ingredient is a bit of olive oil, just for a bit of extra fat to help carry that flavor. Once that's all done, we can mix it all up just with our hands until it's a nice homogeneous mixture. Following that, we of course can start rolling out our meatballs. Now, the only and most important thing that we do here is just make sure that they're all the same size. You can see here, I've got them just a few centimeters in diameter. We're going to finish off all of the meatballs there, roll them all out. We should get about 13 or 14, maybe 15 meatballs, just making sure, again, they're all the same size. We'll then pick out a pan that will fit all of the meatballs and get that on a relatively high heat. Once it's ready, we'll then throw in those meatballs and we'll start browning them. Now this is where all of the magic really happens. We get a really nice dark and deep color if we leave them for long enough. So we'll add them all into the pan and wait. We'll just wait a few minutes because again, it's all about the color in this instance. That should take a minute or two on this heat, and once you think they're ready, loosen one off with a spatula, pick it up and see, are you getting that nice dark color that you can see here? So that will be the crisp, that will be the crunch factor that you're looking for, also packed full of flavor. And again, that's just because we added the Parmesan in this instance. That really is the secret to a deep, dark, rich, crispy exterior. We'll just go along and we'll rotate and flip all of those until pretty much every side of every meatball has got a nice crispy exterior. And once that's done, we'll pull all of the meatballs off the heat onto a plate. And the really important part here, the reason we did the meatballs first is that fond on the bottom. We want to keep that. Do not throw this away. That is packed full of flavor. We're going to add to that later on. Next up, of course, is the sauce, and this is just an important component as the meatballs. And we're going to take our time doing this. We're going to build flavor base by base. We're going to start off here with an onion. So we're just going to run our knife through that. So we've got nicely fine diced up onion pieces, keeping them all roughly the same size is the goal so they cook evenly. We'll then take that, set that aside, and onto the next ingredient. Equally important is the garlic. Now, don't worry, I haven't used 6 cloves of garlic in the sauce alone. 3 of those I used in the meatballs and 3 of them I'm going to use in the tomato sauce. So I'm going to grate down all of that so it's nice and fine. Once you've done that, set that aside. We'll add that to the fry pan later on. Next up, spill your tomatoes everywhere. Jokes aside, I'm using cherry tomatoes because I think they're a bit sweeter. And here is an awesome tip on how to cut a whole bunch of cherry tomatoes at once. using a bread knife. And this is the most important part, a bread knife, not a chef's knife, nothing sharp with a razor edge, just a serrated edge only. You put your hand on top and you can run your knife through them like that. Here's it from another angle. Again, a bread knife only, hand on top, and you can run your knife to cut all of the tomatoes in half at once. Takes a bit of practice, but you get the hang of it after doing it a few times. Now, once they're done, they are ready to be added to the sauce. We'll then take a carrot. We're going to top, tail, and peel that. And this is a really good technique just to make sure that we get all of the carrot pieces the same size. I'll cut it into strips first, then I'll cut those strips in half, and then I'll julienne those half strips, and then I'll run my knife through it one more time, making sure they're all the same size. We can finally start cooking. We're going to take our onion, we're going to take our garlic, and we're going to add that to the pan with the fond already, because that is flavor. You'll notice that it'll start to deglaze the pan already. Pretty soon after, once that's softened up a bit, we can add the tomato, and that will help deglaze the pan even more. Totally optional. I've added a bit of wine that I had left lying around, just adds a bit of extra depth to the sauce. To that, we'll then add the carrots and we'll cook that down for a little while, just until they become a bit more tender. Now, the next step here will help add a bunch of umami. I'm taking the rind of a block of Parmesan and chopping that up into the sauce. It's a great way to use otherwise a pretty tough and unusable bit of Parmesan. Then added a bit of salt for seasoning, and lastly a bunch of tomato paste to bring a bit more umami and a bit more depth. I added a bit of water because things were looking a bit dry, put the lid on and cooked for about 15 minutes. You can see things have really started to break down now. It's looking super tasty. The next step is totally optional. You can keep your sauce chunky if you like it, or if you don't have a blender, that is absolutely fine. This dish will taste great as is. But if you do have a blender, try this. Put it all in there and blend it on high speed until it's all nice and homogeneous, and you'll have this beautiful, deep, rich and creamy sauce that you can add to the spaghetti bolognese. It's a great way to up the level of your tomato passata. It just adds another level of depth and another level of luxury. I've then added that sauce to a pan on a low heat along with all of the meatballs to make sure that they are cooked the whole way through. We'll cook that for about 15 minutes and we can say that is finished. Lastly, our pasta. This is equally important. You want to be using the best quality pasta you can find. This one is made in Italy and extruded through a bronze die. It's got lots of nooks and crannies to pick up that sauce. Now I'm just following the packet instructions to cook this one through. Doesn't take long, and by the time that's finished, our meatballs are ready. We're going to add all of that pasta into the sauce there, and we're just going to mix that through so it's all incorporated into the pasta, nice and saucy. And once that's finished, well, we're done. We can start plating this up. A really great way to do that is to take a ladle and to spin our spaghetti around so we get this nice aesthetic tornado look. We're then going to add a few meatballs on top. Let's say 2 or 3 would be enough for this. And then we're pretty much finished, but we can't forget our final ingredient. We are going to add a monstrous amount of Parmesan on top of this dish here, just to finish it off. We're going to add some olive oil on top. This adds a nice mouthfeel. We need to bring a splash of acidity. We'll do that with some balsamic vinegar. After that, a few leaves of basil won't go astray. Add them for a bit of color, and we are done. Last step, serve up a big bowl and eat as much as you can. Guaranteed this won't last more than a day or 2 in your household. Spaghetti bolognese perfected.